I can bet anything right now that the reason you are watching this video is because you are not utilizing your garden or homestead to full potential. And I'm glad you are here, because in this video, we shall look into quick gardening and homesteading hacks and tricks that will transform your garden without breaking bank. If you've ever looked at a thriving garden and wondered how some people manage to grow so much food with what seems like so little effort, these experienced gardeners and homesteaders rely on small tricks that make an enormous difference over time. These aren't complicated farming techniques that require expensive equipment or acres of land, but simple, practical methods that help you grow more food, improve your soil, and make your garden work with nature instead of against it. The 19 gardening and homesteading tricks shared here are not exhaustive, but they show how simple hacks can completely change how productive your garden becomes. Some of these will help you grow more food in small spaces, others will save you money, and a few will help your plants grow stronger while reducing pests and diseases naturally. By the time you reach the end, you'll likely find several ideas that you can apply immediately to your own garden. Also, do not forget to like and subscribe. Let's get started. Grow vertically to produce more food. One of the easiest ways to dramatically increase the productivity of a garden without expanding its size is by growing upward instead of outward. And this can be done almost anywhere, even in apartment buildings where space is limited, on balconies, patios, and so on. Vertical gardening works amazing for crops that love climbing, such as beans, cucumbers, peas, and even certain varieties of squash. You can easily grow them on trellises, fences, simple wooden frames, or whatever material you have at your disposal. We love growing them on repurposed wooden pallets that would have otherwise gone to waste, and they work great. When plants grow vertically, they receive better sunlight exposure and improved airflow, which helps reduce fungal diseases and makes harvesting much easier, dirt-free, and frankly, more enjoyable. Vertical gardens also free up ground space that would otherwise be occupied by sprawling plants. That means you can grow additional crops in the same area, making your garden far more productive without needing extra land or space. Grow potatoes in buckets or boxes. French fries and potato lovers like me gather closer here. Now, we do not always have to plant potatoes on the ground. Actually, potatoes are one of the easiest crops to grow in containers, and surprisingly, they often perform better this way than in traditional garden beds. The same goes for sweet potatoes, by the way. By planting seed potatoes in buckets, grow bags, or wooden boxes, you can control soil quality, improve drainage, and harvest with minimal effort. All you need is a container with drainage holes, good soil, and a sunny location that receives about 7 to 10 hours of sunlight each day. As the plants grow, you gradually add soil around the stems, which encourages the plant to produce more potatoes underground. In roughly 10 to 12 weeks, you can harvest a surprisingly generous crop from a very small space. Do not forget to poke holes in the bucket or sack for drainage. The idea is to allow the soil to be wet, not soggy, as this will result in root rot and reduce your chances of harvesting down to zero. We should also plant perennials that produce for decades. We love plants and vegetables that give us fruit and harvest after harvest, every season without fail, with minimal effort from our end. Many gardeners focus heavily on annual crops that must be replanted every year, but perennial vegetables and fruits can quietly provide harvests for many seasons once established. Plants like asparagus, rhubarb, horseradish, and artichokes are excellent examples because they return year after year with minimal maintenance. Certain herbs, such as mint, chives, and oregano also fall into this category, while berry bushes like raspberries, blackberries, and blueberries can produce abundant harvests for many years. Plant a few of these long-term crops and create a garden that becomes more productive with time, instead of requiring constant replanting. Then sit back and enjoy a sustainable crop for years to come. To give your garden a better chance of success, consider making your own compost at home. Compost is often called black gold by experienced gardeners, and for good reason. Beginner gardeners are yet to figure this one out well, but it's not that hard, to be honest. Just start with what you have, right there in your home. Instead of throwing away kitchen scraps, such as vegetable peels, coffee grounds, and eggshells, you can convert them into nutrient-rich soil that dramatically improves plant health. Just ensure whatever you use is biodegradable. We do not want plastics when composting. Mixing food scraps with yard waste, like leaves or grass clippings, microorganisms gradually break everything down into organic matter that enriches the soil. This improves water retention, boosts beneficial microbial life, and helps plants grow stronger without relying on synthetic fertilizers. You can throw these scraps directly onto the soil in the garden, or put them in a container and build compost over time, and then transfer to your garden later when it is time to plant. The next tip helps us create new plants without sending a penny by propagating new plants from cuttings. Have you seen the price of seeds in the nurseries lately? Those numbers can be discouraging, especially if you are a beginner farmer. But there is a way around this. Many plants and fruit trees can be multiplied simply by taking cuttings and encouraging them to grow roots. This technique allows you to expand your garden without buying additional plants. When pruning fruit trees or certain shrubs, save healthy branches and replant them in soil or rooting medium. With time and proper care, many of these cuttings will develop roots and grow into entirely new plants, which means you can multiply your garden at almost no cost. Grow your vegetables and potatoes in containers. Container gardening is an excellent solution for people who have limited space or poor soil conditions. Large pots, buckets, or raised containers allow you to grow vegetables almost anywhere, including balconies, patios, or small backyards. Because the soil in containers is controlled, you can create ideal growing conditions for your crops while avoiding many soil-borne diseases. Tomatoes, peppers, herbs, lettuce, and even small fruit trees can thrive in containers when given proper sunlight and watering. This next tip is important because if you do not choose crops suited to your climate, you might as well quit now. Not every plant grows well in every environment, which is why choosing crops suited to your local climate is one of the most important gardening decisions you can make. If you force crops to grow in a season or environment they are not optimized for, they will not respond well. Some vegetables thrive in cool weather, while others require consistent warmth to grow properly. For example, lettuce and spinach perform best in cooler seasons, like early spring or fall, while crops like tomatoes and peppers need warmer conditions. By selecting plants that naturally fit your region's climate, you significantly increase your chances of success. The next tip is something we do all the time in our garden. It has become part of our style. I'm talking of starting seeds in egg cartons. Starting seeds indoors can save money and extend your growing season, and egg cartons make excellent biodegradable seed starters. Each small compartment can hold soil and a single seed, giving seedlings space to develop before being transplanted outdoors. Because cardboard cartons are biodegradable, we plant them directly into the ground once the seedlings are ready, allowing the roots to grow through the carton as it naturally decomposes. Collect rainwater for irrigation. I mean, why waste a free resource, even if you have access to water? Rainwater is one of the most valuable resources available to gardeners, yet most of us do not bother harvesting rain. Rainwater contains important minerals that help plants grow, and in Out Farm, we try as much as possible to harvest rain in buckets, tanks, or whatever we can find and use it later to irrigate our vegetables. By installing simple rain barrels beneath roof gutters, you can collect and store water during rainfall and use it later to irrigate your plants. Rainwater is naturally free of many chemicals found in treated tap water, making it especially beneficial for sensitive plants. If you do not have a reliable source of water for gardening, harvesting rainwater can significantly reduce water bills and keep your crops thriving. Use old tires as planters. I learned this from my grandfather, who had a day job as a mechanic. Naturally, he had access to old and worn-out tires, and when he started repurposing these tires for gardening, he built a beautiful garden in our backyard. Repurposing old tires as garden planters is an easy way to recycle materials while creating durable growing containers. Tires work especially well for shallow-rooted plants such as herbs, lettuce, or certain flowers. By stacking or cutting tires in half, you can create simple raised beds that warm up quickly in sunlight, which helps plants grow faster during cooler seasons. If you use chemicals all the time to get rid of pesky pests, come closer. We learn how to make natural pest repellents. Chemical pesticides are not always necessary when natural alternatives can work just as effectively in many situations. Simple mixtures made from ingredients like garlic, soap, and water can help repel insects that damage garden crops. These solutions discourage pests while minimizing harm to beneficial insects and soil organisms, making them a safer and more sustainable choice for many home gardens. And naturally, you get to enjoy organic, chemical-free food. Use diluted milk to control plant diseases. Milk may seem like an unusual gardening tool, but diluted milk sprays can help control certain fungal diseases, such as powdery mildew. When sprayed lightly on leaves, milk introduces beneficial bacteria that can suppress harmful fungi. This method is particularly helpful for crops like squash, cucumbers, and certain leafy vegetables that are prone to fungal infections. Just to be clear, milk itself does not have much effect in chasing bugs from your farm. However, it is used to culture a bacterial pesticide that is very effective in controlling loopers. Loopers are notorious for attacking cabbages, broccoli, and cauliflowers. Another amazing tip for adding nutrients into the soil I learned from my grandfather is to use mobile chicken coops. Just to be clear, this only works well if you have a sizable garden and if you raise chicken, obviously.
Mobile coops can turn chicken into amazing little garden helpers. By moving the coop to different areas of your property, chickens naturally fertilize the soil while scratching for insects and weeds. Their droppings enrich the soil with nutrients, and rotating them regularly helps prepare garden beds for future planting. Very few gardeners I talk to say they test their soil before planting, so do not feel too bad about this. However, if you want to have a good yield, normalize testing your soil before planting. Most people skip soil testing, but understanding your soil's nutrient levels and pH can prevent countless problems later. Without this information, you may unknowingly plant crops in conditions that limit their growth. A simple soil test reveals what nutrients are missing and what amendments your soil may need, allowing you to create optimal growing conditions for your plants. Use mulch to protect your soil. Mulching is one of the most powerful techniques for maintaining healthy soil. By covering the ground with straw, wood chips, leaves, or grass clippings, you protect the soil from drying out and suppress weed growth. Mulch also slowly breaks down over time, adding organic matter that improves soil structure and fertility. Increase your yield by practicing companion planting. Certain plants naturally benefit each other when grown close together. Companion planting uses these relationships to improve plant health and reduce pest problems. For example, basil planted near tomatoes may improve growth, while marigolds can help deter harmful insects from vegetable beds. Regrow vegetables from kitchen scraps. Many vegetables can regrow from parts that would normally be discarded in the kitchen. Green onions, lettuce, celery, and even garlic can produce new growth when placed in water or planted in soil. This simple practice allows you to stretch grocery purchases into additional harvests. We shall create a dedicated video to show you how you can easily regrow vegetables from kitchen scraps, so stay tuned for that. Use crushed eggshells in the garden. Eggshells are rich in calcium, which is essential for strong plant growth. When crushed and mixed into soil, they help prevent conditions like blossom and rot in tomatoes and peppers. They can also act as a mild deterrent to slugs and snails when scattered around plants. Use shade cloth during intense heat. During intense summer heat, many vegetables struggle under direct sunlight for long periods. Shade cloth can help protect delicate crops by filtering some of the sunlight while still allowing enough light for photosynthesis. This simple solution can prevent plants from becoming stressed or scorched during the hottest parts of the growing season. Gardening and homesteading often appear complicated from the outside, but the fact is, many of the most effective techniques are surprisingly simple. Small changes like growing plants vertically, composting kitchen scraps, collecting rainwater, or planting crops suited to your climate can dramatically increase your garden's productivity. When these small strategies are combined, they create a system where plants grow stronger, soil becomes healthier, and your garden gradually begins producing more food with less effort. If even a few of these ideas were new to you, try applying them in your own garden and see how much of a difference they make over time. And if you enjoy learning practical ways to grow food and live more self-sufficiently, make sure you subscribe to our channel because there's always another trick waiting just beneath the soil.